On my honeymoon, I expected forever. Instead, I discovered my husband's devotion to a past love that refused to stay buried. 2 weeks ago, I woke up expecting Ethan's arm around me, only to find him curled tightly around a small wooden box. That was the moment I realized something was already broken. Ethan and I had been together for 4 years before marrying. He was patient, thoughtful, and loving, though sometimes distant. From the beginning, I knew about Lily, his girlfriend who died of cancer years earlier. He wore a necklace with her ashes, and when his fingers brushed it, I told myself it was grief I had to accept. I thought Lily would remain a memory, not a presence. But in the cabin we rented for our honeymoon, the box appeared. It was polished wood, carved with a rose. When I asked about it, Ethan reacted sharply. "Don't open it. Promise me." His tone unsettled me, but I agreed, hoping it was nothing. That night, I woke to find him not holding me, but the box. He cradled it as though it were alive. My heart sank as I realized Lily had joined us in our marriage bed. "Ethan!" I whispered, my voice sharp with panic. He stirred, loosening his grip on the box, guilt flickering in his eyes. "I didn't want you to see," he said softly. "It's Lily. I bring her to places that matter." The words hit me like ice. "You brought her ashes on our honeymoon?" I asked, trembling. "She loved the mountains," he explained, stroking the lid. "She deserves to be here." I felt sick. This was supposed to be about us, and you brought another woman into our bed. "She's not another woman," Ethan snapped. "She's ashes, my Lily." I couldn't breathe. "You carried her into our marriage. You made me share you with a ghost. You've never lost the love of your life," he said coldly. "You don't understand." I threw back the covers. "Then you can sleep in the car. If Lily deserves your arms more than I do, I won't stay in this bed." He called me heartless, but I knew the truth. He didn't see me. The next morning, he acted as though nothing had happened, cheerful and affectionate, while the box sat on the nightstand like a silent intruder. When he went to shower, I stood trembling before the box. My fingers hovered over the lid, my heart pounding. If I opened it, there would be no going back. But I had to know. Inside were not only ashes, but a plastic bag filled with Polaroids. At first, they showed Lily smiling, holding Ethan's hand. Snapshots of an ordinary love, but as I flipped through them, the images darkened Lily in a hospital gown, frail and pale, tubes taped to her skin. The final photo froze me. Lily dead in her hospital bed, eyes closed, skin gray. The photo slipped from my hands, scattering across the floor. The shower stopped. Ethan stepped out, saw the open box, and his face twisted with panic. "Elise, why would you go through that?" "Why? Because you brought your dead ex-girlfriend's photos on our honeymoon," I screamed. "She's a part of me," he shouted back. "If you loved me, you'd accept it." "No, Ethan, this isn't love, it's obsession. You're still married to her memory." Silence pressed between us. Staring at those photos, I knew my marriage was already over. 2 days later, I packed my suitcase. Ethan begged, cried, even promised to lock the box away forever, but nothing could erase what I had seen. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Lily's lifeless body in those Polaroids. I filed for divorce as soon as we returned home. A week later, Ethan's brother called. His voice trembled. "Elise, Ethan's in the hospital. He had a breakdown. The doctors say it's schizophrenia. They think it's been building for years." The words hit me like a storm. Suddenly, everything, the box, the photos, the obsession made sense. Ethan hadn't been cruel. He had been sick. At the hospital, he looked smaller, diminished. His hands twisted in his lap as he whispered, "I'm sorry, Elise. I ruined everything. I just didn't know how to let go. I'm on medication now to stay present." My heart cracked again. I sat beside him, took his hand, and told him gently, "You're sick, Ethan. None of this was your fault alone, but I can't be your wife anymore." Tears filled his eyes. "I don't want to lose you completely." "You won't," I promised, "but only as a friend." After leaving the hospital, I started therapy. The betrayal, the shock, the guilt, it was too heavy to carry alone. In that quiet office, I finally began to unravel the knots. "How did it feel," my therapist asked one day, "to realize you were competing with someone who isn't alive?" I stared at the floor before answering. It felt like I was invisible, like no matter what I did, I would never be enough. I tried to understand his grief, but when the truth came out, it was overwhelming. Therapy didn't erase the pain, but it gave me permission to stop blaming myself. I carried 2 invisible weights: grief for a marriage that died before it could bloom, and guilt for not being able to love a broken man the way he needed. Ethan is getting treatment now. Sometimes he texts me simple things about sunsets, about salads, about memories that once made us laugh. I answer politely, but the truth is clear. Our story ended long before it began. In the end, I learned that sometimes love isn't enough when haunted by ghosts of the past.